Most athletes train their bodies, but the elite, they train their nervous system, they train their mind, they train their brain. 3 things that separate average players from elite performers is insight, proprioception, and the quiet eye. And once you understand these, your game doesn't just improve, it starts to feel automatic. What's good, y'all? Raj made it out, back with another video. Today, I'm breaking down 3 advanced performance concepts that high-level athletes and even neurologists use to level up performance. I learned some of these things in class, just throughout my journey. We took a course, and we had a guy come from Harvard, and he was teaching about some of these things and, how you can understand these things and apply these things to your game. So this isn't just about working harder. It's about training your brain and body to work in one system. So the first concept I'm going to teach you guys is called insight. Insight is your ability to see patterns and predict what's about to happen before it happens. This is your ability to see what's happening on the field and knowing what will happen next before it happens. An example, especially I'm talking about for football, but this can apply for everything, is reading a linebacker's hips and predicting the hole in zone coverage. Insight is the mental anticipation that lets your body move instinctually. This is what people mean when they say the game slowed down, but really your brain just got faster. For example, as a wide receiver, you see a DB's leverage, you recognize the coverage, you already know where the open space will be. That's insight. Elite players don't guess, they recognize. That's why film study is so important. When you watch film the right way, you're training your brain to say, I've seen this before. So when you're on the field, you don't hesitate, you react. A way to train insight is to study film daily, focus on patterns, not highlights. Ask what is about to happen next, do mental reps, and visualize plays. Another big thing that I was learning from the guy in my class was insight builds awareness. So when you are watching film, studying film, you're training your brain to have this sort of awareness to just apply moves. You can learn moves, you can make better moves, even just do things that you probably haven't actually trained before because your brain already picked it up. It's a way of learning that you can get through film. I did this when I was younger. I used to watch a lot of Stephon Diggs and Doug Baldwin, and I would be able to mimic their moves, their releases, their routes, just by watching film. So watching film is a very important way to just build this mental concept of insight. Studying film, I would honestly say for hours. For as many as for your free time, watch film. Insight is a way that turns thinking into instinct. The second concept that I will be going over is proprioception. I learned this when I was training in the training room from my athletic trainer. Shout out Ms. McKenna. She was basically teaching me what proprioception was. She broke it down. As I was training, learning how to get better balance, I learned that proprioception is your body's ability to know where it is in space without looking. It's your internal GPS. So in practice, knowing where your limbs are without looking, like say you jump up in the air, knowing how to land without looking down, controlling movement precisely and preventing injury. For example, in football, landing on one foot after a jump, cutting sharply without slipping, or adjusting your body mid-air to catch a ball. This is really good for wide receivers, understanding proprioception, because we have to do a lot of acrobatic catching, 50-50 catching, a lot of athletic movement, and this can help you increase that and, increase your likeliness of being successful with those movements. Proprioception controls balance, coordination, body control, and movement precision. This is why a trainer might have you bounce on one leg, close your eyes, or control your landing after a jump. The training I did was standing on one foot, close my eyes, either on a pad or a balance ball. I'm not sure what those but with those, little ball things where it's flat on the surface, but it shakes. I just stand on there, close my eyes for 1 minute. That's one way to do it. You can close your eyes and jump. Things like that can help build proprioception. The one thing she did tell me though, that there isn't a way to test proprioception. So you really can't I wouldn't say gather data on it, but you can train it and you can see it as you play. When you remove vision, your body is forced to rely on your nervous system, and that's where the real development happens. For football, this means sharper cuts, better balance through contact, cleaner footwork, more control midair. That's what separates smooth players from sloppy ones. How to train proprioception is through single leg balance, eyes open and eyes closed, jump and stick landings, lateral hops and controlled cuts, and bare footwork if safe. This trains your body to move with more precision. The last concept that I will be teaching you guys is called the quiet eye. The quiet eye is your ability to focus your vision before and during movement. This concept was developed by Joanne Vickers. It means your eyes stay calm, steady, and locked onto a target. A brief description of who Joanne Vickers is. Joanne Vickers is a Canadian sports scientist and professor who changed the way we understand and focus on sports. She's best known for discovering something called the quiet eye, a concept that explains how elite athletes use their vision before making a move. Through her research, she found that top performers don't just react faster, they actually lock their eyes onto a target longer and more precisely right before action. This movement of focus helps the brain process information, control movement, and improve accuracy. Her work has been used in sports like football, basketball, and golf, and even in fields like surgery and the military. So when you hear about focus at the highest level, just know it's not just mental, it's trained, and Joanne Vickers helped prove that. Shout out to her. So why does this all matter? Because your eyes guide your movement. If your eyes are all over the place, your body will be too. When your eyes are calm, your brain processes faster, your body reacts more cleanly, your movements become more precise. For a wide receiver, this looks like locking onto the DB's hip pre-snap, staying visually calm at the line, tracking the ball smoothly in the air. You ever did basic wide receiver drills and your coach is like, hey, stare the DB straight in his eyes. That's a way of thinking about quiet eye. If your eyes are all over the place, looking everywhere, it's kind of easy for the DB to kind of just lock you up. But when you're fixed on his target, it's easier for you to sell a move and get open and create separation. I do this all the time in my routes, and it's an easy way for me to kind of be deceptive when I run my routes. A way to train quiet eye is pick a target and hold your gaze before moving. Practice ball tracking with minimal head movement. Focus on one visual cue, like hips or the ball, instead of everything. Calm eyes equals controlled movement. Another extra couple tips is in drills is that when you pick a spot like DB's hip, a cone, a ball, hold your gaze on it for 2 to 3 seconds before moving. Ball tracking drills, like toss the ball up, track with the eyes, over the shoulders are really good with these. And you can combine this with proprioception. You can do a balance or jump drills while focusing on a fixed point. Eyes open first, and then brief closures if safe. Another quick tip is that quiet eye training enhances decision-making under pressure because your eyes tell your brain what your body should do. So, how does this all connect? Well, here's where it all comes together. Insight tells you what's about to happen. Quiet eye tells your brain where to focus. And proprioception controls how your body moves. When you train all three, you stop overthinking, you stop hesitating, you start reacting instantly. That's when your mind and body become one. That's when you play fast. I remember watching a video. If you guys can, go on YouTube and look up NFL scouts. And they break down wide receivers. And I remember the scouts were talking about 40 times. And they were comparing 40 times to game speed. And I think the coolest thing that I learned about this was that scouts and GMs and NFL teams rather have someone who is slower, not entirely, but a little bit slower, but their game speed is at a 4.3 because they're processing and thinking so fast. And they'd rather not have someone who athletically can run a 4.3 but plays at a 4.6 because they're not able to comprehend concepts and they're playing slower mainly because of their mind. The one difference between levels like Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, college, high school, NFL, professional, different leagues is mental. And you'll hear this all the time as you get older. Mental is the way that the game changes. The game changes mentally. The game is 90% mental, 10% physical. So when you kind of think about, damn, how can I play faster? How can I slow the game down? These are ways to slow the game down for you guys. These are ways that you guys can stop, thinking, playing slower, mainly because of your mind, because you can't understand the concept or the game. And that comes with studying the game too, understanding the game and maturing, but also just helps you in a way where you can stop thinking about everything. You can stop processing everything and just play, I remember for me, I was a high thinker, just all my life. All my life playing football. And thinking creates hesitation. When I'm thinking, I'm hesitating, I'm not playing full speed. I'm thinking about each move, I'm overthinking each concept, I'm overthinking or overanalyzing how a DB's running or somebody trying to tackle me. When I just play, I'm probably best player on the field when I'm just playing and not thinking. I react so fastly, I just play, I just move effortlessly. I don't think about a move, I don't think about a route, I just play. Honestly, this also teaches you too, another way, one bonus tip is reps. I think the more reps you get with anything, with the drill, with the release, with anything, you can train your mind to kind of react faster in that situation. For me, I used to do a lot of one-on-ones, so when I would get put in a situation, it doesn't matter the look. I train all different type of techniques. If he's playing catch, if he's playing press, soft shoe, aggressive, patient. It doesn't matter what the DB's playing, but I train all types of situations. So my brain is just ready for any situation I'm put in. You want to train and I heard they do this in the military too. You always want to kind of be prepared. Preparation is always going to help you out when the opportunity comes. Most players only train their body, but you start training your mind and your nervous system, you can unlock a whole different level. If you're serious about becoming elite, start adding these into your daily routine. Because talent might get you noticed, but awareness is what makes you dominant. If you ever heard the quote, hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work, this is just an addition to the hard work. This is just an addition to separating yourself. If you guys like this video, please leave a comment, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. These are topics that I was just curious about, and I definitely just wanted to share with you guys some things that I learned, some research that I've done, and some studying I've did from my classes, from just me, doing my everyday life, and questions I ask professionals. Like I said, if you guys like this video, please comment and subscribe. Make it out.